I'm probably overthinking this. I mean, you
Yeah.
know.
I think you're only overthinking it because you probably had the experience of a stretchy fabric doing that. But when
Yeah.
I got those bags, I was adamant that it was going to be a non-stretch fabric, because
Yeah.
if it is, then exactly what you described, like it bunches up and
Yeah.
then it comes back together, and now there's a weird bunch, and your thread's also touching the wrong thing, and now it's not, gonna turn on anymore.
Yeah.
But if it's not that, then I liked your idea of potentially, once it's done, either sewing a piece of fabric on top of it or doing like a iron-on fusible,
Yeah.
just like once it's all working, and then that'll protect everything and keep it all like structurally flat, I guess.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Like, because that was another, like, that was one of the things too that I really liked about your bag, is that, you know, you had obviously like designed it with the kit in mind to have
Yeah.
that really big pocket on the inside that would cover up all of your stitches. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's really smart, because, you know, I could see that wearing as you use the bag and put stuff in and out, or accidentally shorting your, you know, LEDs
Mm-hmm.
out if you have something metal in there, whatever. And yeah, I was thinking like, oh, I kind of want a protective layer on this bag, but it doesn't have a pocket. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other option that, because yeah, so I had a tote bag similar to the one that I ended up getting made for the kit,
Mhm.
and it did have a pocket, and I actually loved that pocket first for its ability to hold my phone that doesn't get
Yeah.
lost in the bottom of the bag. But
Yeah.
then I realized, like, wow, that's the perfect place to hide a circuit and have something useful. But all it is it's two squares of fabric sewn together and then sewn at the top with like the top side open. So,
Mhm.
I'd
Yeah.
say, I am sold out of those bags. So if anyone out there is like wanting to make
Mhm.
this, it's a fairly easy sewing project to make a pocket too. So you could do that.
Mm.
And the other benefit is, like you just did with the bag from a year ago, when a year has passed and you're like, gosh, I'd like to make another project. I wonder what the circuit looks like. It's not like embedded into something that you can't like lift up and look at anymore.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's true. For this one, yeah, for if I do the sewable stuff, then it's, or I'm sorry, the iron-on stuff, then
Mhm.
it's going to be a one-way.
Right. One and done.
Yep.
But maybe that's just the like maker in me, that when like you don't want to cover anything up because someone's gonna ask you how you made it.
Yeah, that is
Like
true.
you don't get
Well,
to
and
just
it's also
make
like,
things
it's definitely a
and
sewer and a knitter thing where it's like, let me see
yeah.
the back. Right? I want to see the back. I need to see how you did
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I was so lucky. They did a show in New York that was all the costumes from Broadway when Broadway was shut down. So you could
Oh,
actually walk in
wow.
and you could look at the costumes up close. And I just
Nice.
thought that, yeah, because you're always like you see it from the stage, like that's so pretty, but how did they do that? And then you get to see like all the handwork that goes into everything. So yeah, it's a maker thing. We got to see how stuff is put together,
Yeah,
reverse engineer everything in our heads.
absolutely. How can I make something like that?
Yeah. Or it's like I was even thinking about like all the components that I've saved. Like I
Yeah.
had a USB microscope and
Yeah.
I broke the USB on it, and then I
Oh,
was like, oh my gosh, there's like a tiny LED ring in the end of this. I must harvest you.
no.
No idea what I'm gonna use it for, but it just seemed like something that could not possibly be thrown away.
Well, I mean, we have a junk box.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it's that same sort of thing where like broken electronics go. And because, yeah, and sometimes you just want to see like, how did they do those buttons? Like, what was their
Hmm.
implementation? Did they have like, you know, was it like a silicon stack up? Did it have
Hmm.
a hard plastic point on the back of it that was like actuating it and like pushing another
Right.
small button on a circuit board, or like how,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love looking through all that stuff. Oh, actually, I have a show and tell.
Ooh, I want to see.
Do I have it? Of course, now I don't know where it is. Well, I'll have to send you somewhere else to look for it then. So what I was going to show you is one of the projects that I haven't created a video for yet, but plan on it. Hold me to it. Is I don't know if you watch Bob's Burgers, the TV show.
Ooh, I don't, but Charlene, who's on the show, does. She does like
Okay.
really cool LED jewelry,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's a cool. She is a big Bob's Burgers fan, and she does amazing stuff with like LED rings and things like that.
Awesome. Yeah, so on Bob's Burgers, one of the little boy characters has a keyboard. And it's like a very stylish little like 80s keyboard. And I bought this rolly piano, which is like, it's like a piano that rolls up, right? It's like silicone, it has like a little controller and it rolls up, and it was perfect because I wanted to make his keyboard. So I basically like disassembled it and reskinned it.
Nice.
And it looks just like the keyboard. So keep an eye out for that. But when I had to cut the keyboard basically to, use it in my project, and I open it up and it's just this gorgeous like labyrinth of tiny little metal traces that go into each key in the keyboard, but are on a flexible, I guess it's like plastic transfer sheet basically.
Yeah.
And I open it up and I'm going like, this is beautiful. So I like saved the scrap that I cut off of this thing just because I thought it was like a beautiful circuit board.
Nice.
And the same thing, like I basically repurposed all of the buttons on the board and fed them through to the buttons that I had created for the keyboard in the style of the cartoon, Nice. So that was a fun project. I really got to get on posting that one
too. Definitely.
Yeah. But that's a fun thing to do too with electronics, is just like give it the case that you want it to have.
Yes.